Your sun sign represents the constellation that the sun was in at the exact time of your birth. Your sun sign reveals your creative abilities and the qualities that you need to develop for growth and spiritual development. Your sun sign will express spirit, individuality, and even health. The sun sign is a starting point for all birth charts, and sun signs are the strongest inborn traits and elements of an individual which are not likely to change throughout the entire life. So your sun sign reveals your own ego and individuality. In the tarot deck, the Major Arcana consists of 22 cards which represent your spiritual path and journey. So these cards are laid out in order from 0 to 21, and they tell of a person, the story of a person setting out into the world and encountering these different figures, which can represent challenges, growth, and change that they will go through. So the story of the Major Arcana is called the Fool's Journey, because the very first tarot card, or the 0 card, is the Fool, and we follow him as he moves through the world. Each of the 22 Major Arcana cards is associated with either a zodiac sign, an element, or one of the 6 planets that you can see in the sky with your naked eye. So in today's video, I'm going to give you the zodiac sign along with its corresponding Major Arcana tarot card so that you can more further understand who you are on this fool's journey. The Emperor represents authority, power, foundation, and leadership. The Emperor has this giant stone throne adorned with 4 ram's heads, which symbolizes the connection with the fire sign Aries. The Emperor is the part of you that's observant, reasonable, organized, and disciplined. And without these qualities, the Aries creativity is going to be short-circuited and won't bear fruit. As an Aries, you can embrace the Emperor's influence by being like the Emperor. So bring the Emperor-like structure and discipline into your life and relationships, and that's how the Aries will find success. The Hierophant card symbolizes organization, institution, and following the path to knowledge. In his left hand, he holds a triple scepter representing domination over matter and emotion and thought. The Hierophant card represents creativity and joy in the material world. The Taurus governs the physical world with sensuality, pleasure, and material things. Nobody knows how to indulge in the physical like the Taurus. So, using the power of this card, you can understand that you can accomplish great things with dedication and hard work. The Hierophant's hand signals you to be still and listen, telling you to listen to the truth within your heart of hearts. The Lover's card represents matters of the heart, but it's also about having options. The 2 lovers represent Adam and Eve, symbolizing the power of duality. The man looks at the woman, suggesting how your personality tends to turn to your subconscious for its responses. The woman looking at Raphael imitates that self-love and acceptance are necessary for loving relationships. The Lover's card hints that relationships have a reciprocal quality that leads to self-healing. When the energy of these 2 lovers combined, they create one whole, just like the twins that represent the Gemini in the Zodiac. And these lovers are standing in front of the tree of knowledge and the tree of life, which will reveal that there are always two sides to every situation. Gemini can use the power of this card to understand their own personal value system, what they will and will not stand for. So the power of this card is to remind the Gemini to stay present and to find balance, and let communications with others raise your consciousness as well as the consciousness of others. The Chariot is the tarot card for the sign of Cancer. And this card gives feelings of being strong, driven, and courageous when you channel its energy properly. The water in the background shows that the charioteer must leave home or whatever is familiar to find the higher self, the soul, or the spirit self. This charioteer is under the impression that he directs his life, but the star-studded canopy over his head hints that divinity has precedence over all. With the black and white sphinxes in front of the chariot, it shows that this charioteer is learning to view success and failure as two sides of the same coin of self-knowledge. The Chariot card reminds you to take charge towards your goals in life and to stay in the cosmic flow of the universe. Because as you stay in the love vibration, that is going to drive you to all of the successes you need in this world, with that emotional Cancer sign as well. The Strength card is the card for the sign of Leo. And strength is all about overcoming difficulties in your own life through deep courage, vitality, and fortitude. Everyone has a beast or an immature quality within themselves. And this card suggests that befriending or owning and acknowledging those parts of you makes you a complete person. So it doesn't mean that you let the beast run wild. It means that the mature part of you lovingly yet firmly guides this beast. The number on the Strength card is 8, and it also looks like an infinity symbol, which the infinity symbol also is shown above the figure's head in the Strength card. So this infinity symbol speaks of endless possibilities, of self-mastery, and of how karma is directly tied to any victory that you seek in life. The Hermit card is the tarot card that represents the sign of Virgo. The Hermit is a potent force of spiritual insight and knowledge that comes from within. The Hermit stands on a mountaintop, which shows that he has an objective or a wise view of what's happening in the world below him. He's willingly holding a lantern in his right or conscious hand, suggesting that he's cognizant of being a bearer of the light of wisdom and understanding, even in the darkness of confusion and ignorance. As a Virgo, in order to connect with your life's purpose, you must take the time to listen to your inner voice. You may also require time in solitude before going out into the world. The Hermit card is asking you, Virgo, to align your life with your higher purpose, your hopes, and your dreams. And if you can manifest the energy of the Hermit to take time for introspection, that will help you with spreading and sharing this knowledge with others so that they can receive the wisdom you've gained from that introspection. Justice is the tarot card for the sign of Libra. This comes as no surprise because balance is the Libra's superpower. But balance is also the Libra's weakness. So, with the Justice card, you see that the Justice is sitting between two pillars, which would suggest neutrality and a well-balanced perspective. Holding scales in her right hand and the sword of discernment in her left, Justice weighs out or calculates the possible results of her actions before actually taking those actions. So after deciding what she wants to take responsibility for, she acts with faith that her chosen course of action will balance out things in time. She also has an outstretched foot, which can show that she's ready to jump into action whenever there's a necessity to return things to balance. The Death card in the Major Arcana represents the sign of Scorpio, which this Death card is all about transformation and rebirth. Death rides a horse that represents an elevation in status, symbolizing how death is a consciousness-raising experience. The sun rising in the east between the two towers signifies that death is as much a part of the life cycle as the sun's rising and setting. So death has an integral connection with life, with it being part of the natural flow of life. The death figure also wears armor over his skeleton. So this is going to symbolize being invincible, Scorpio. So with this as the card, you know how to transmute any pain that you experience into love more than any other zodiac sign. So when you're in balance and power, then you're representing the positive aspects of this Death card, which is transformation and rebirth. Temperance is the tarot card associated with the sign of Sagittarius. So the Temperance card shows up when we need to check ourselves and to reconnect with our foundation. Temperance is represented by an angel who is slowly pouring the liquid from one golden cup into another, which is like an alchemical process, which is called tempering. The angel is bringing balance with one foot on the rock and representing the need to stay grounded, and one foot in the water, showing the need to stay in flow with your emotions and with the universe. It seems that temperance is mixing the spirit above and the matter below. And the rainbow overhead is promising that you're going to be successful in any spiritual work that you undertake in your lifetime. So with the Temperance card, it's going to be very important for Sagittarius to reconnect with that spirituality that is innately within. The Devil card is the card that represents the sign of Capricorn. The devil is half man, half goat, after all, and Capricorn is represented by the goat. So with this card, the devil is symbolizing what's going to happen when you're following just your raw desires. Now, the Devil card has two figures with the loose-fitting chains around these humans. So those chains are also coming from the devil's throne, which implies that the same power that restricts you is also the same power that can free you. This card is very similar to the Lover's card as well, showing that not only is it about the dark side, but it is about showing you the expression of the shadow self. And it shows you over time where you've been immature so that you can step out of that immaturity and step into, what it is that you want to create. You want to get to a point, Capricorn, that you live your life unapologetically. And to connect with this, you should be living out your deepest fantasies. So indulge in life's pleasures and, see where this takes you. Because Capricorn can't be all about work, work, work. You should also be all about finding out what brings pleasure to your life as well. The star is the tarot card that corresponds to the sign Aquarius. So this card represents peace, tranquility, and innovative ideas. This card also asks you to have hope for the future. In the card, the woman has one foot on the ground, representing practicality, and the other foot in the water, representing intuition. The woman is also naked, so this is reminding you, Aquarius, that is okay. It's okay for you to be vulnerable. The naked woman in the card is reminding you to have courage and vulnerability. So with this card, it's a reminder to have courage, vulnerability, and practicality, as well as intuition, for you to be most in alignment with your true humanitarian calling. The moon is the tarot card that is associated with the sign of Pisces. This card is associated with intuition as well as creativity. And there's a lot of water in this image as well, which is going to represent your subconscious mind and anything associated with that, such as, intuition and emotions and all of the things that really the moon stands for. In this card, you see the crayfish crawling out of the pond of water with the dogs howling at the moon. There's a path that leads all the way up into the mountains. So this card is going to symbolize that there is this highway to higher consciousness, but you have to evolve through all the states of consciousness. You can't skip anything. So there is power that lies in this card, and it's in your ability to recognize the complex feelings that are represented by the water and the moon, and all these things that are normally hidden. So, basically, as a Pisces, you should let your dreams guide you. You should trust your intuition and know that things aren't always as they appear.